Jake sat in the fielding parlor and wondered how much longer Jane Ellen would make him wait. He shifted in restless irritation. His dad had taught him to work hard from the time Jake was knee-high to a grasshopper, so idleness wasn't his long suit. Up until moments ago, he'd at least had Jane Ellen's father to keep him company. Doc was a blunt-spoken, down-to-earth man, and Jake liked him. They'd enjoyed a comfortable conversation before the Fieldings' housekeeper stuck her head in the room to inform the doctor his services were needed on a ranch outside of town. Doc had poured Jake a stiff shot of whiskey, given him a conspiratorial wink, assured him Jane Ellen wouldn't be very much longer, and excused himself. Gazing into his whiskey, Jake absently noted it was the same color as Hattie's eyes. The thought made him smile. For pure entertainment value, thinking about the newest member of the Murdock household beat hell out of checking his timepiece every 2 minutes, impatiently awaiting Jane Ellen's appearance. In the 8 weeks since her arrival, Hattie had made her presence felt in every corner of the house. Not a small accomplishment, considering children were supposed to be seen but not heard. It was quickly evident no one had bothered to inform Hattie that silence was golden. She talked all the time. Her curiosity was boundless, and she had questions about every aspect of the new life she'd been thrust into. Jake had overheard Mirabelle just the other day discussing Hattie with his mother. "I have never," Mirabelle grumbled, "heard a body use the word why so often. Why is it so green here when it wasn't in Nevada? Why do I do something that way? Why not do it this way instead? Heavens, she even wanted to know why the crocheted pieces on chairs' headrests and arms are called tidies. Who but her would think to ask?" "I know," Augusta had agreed wearily. "The gardener threatened to quit if she doesn't stop badgering him for details about every plant in the yard. I also found her trailing Ethel around while the poor girl was trying to finish dusting so she could leave for the day. Hattie wanted to know everything about Ethel's 9 brothers and sisters." Jake grinned into his whiskey glass. You never knew when or where Hattie would pop up, Lillian in hand. But you could be sure she'd be found engaging her latest quarry in conversation, endlessly interrogating the poor sod or espousing opinions of her own. He, too, had come under her conversational guns. But unlike a good many adults, he enjoyed it. Since Augusta removed the womenfolk to the ranch the day after Hattie arrived in Mattawa, he hadn't spent as much time with her as his mother and Mirabelle. With his schedule, there wasn't time to make the trip from town to ranch and back during the work week, not without getting up before the crack of dawn to get to the office, then coming back home late in the evening. But during his weekend exposure to Hattie, he found her extremely interesting. The girl was one of a kind. Her personality no doubt a result of the unique circumstances that allowed her to run wild before arriving in Mattawa. Or perhaps her outspokenness stemmed from the fact that she didn't harbor a shy bone in her sturdy little body. Whatever the reason, she was pretty damned adaptable. You had to admire that. Her life to date couldn't have been easy. All the myriad rules governing proper behavior were obviously new to Hattie and, clearly, to her way of thinking, often incomprehensible. He didn't doubt for a moment that she could be a trial for his mother, for she was a volatile little package. He'd heard her shouting with rage one minute and laughing uproariously the next. It was exactly that behavior, truth to tell, he found so fascinating. The things that set off other girls, reducing them to tears, seemed to elicit a different response entirely from Hattie.